get started now, Luke, or should we wait a little bit?
Let me see. Okay, let's just get started.
Okay, sounds great. So, welcome to class, everyone. Thank you for coming. We're going to be finishing our story that we started last week. So, I would like someone to remind us, what is this story about? So, our new story, what is it about? Stella, can you tell us? What is this story about?
Grocery shopping.
Very good. The story's about grocery shopping. And so we know a girl in the story, she goes grocery shopping. Ruru, can you remember what her name is? What is the girl's name in the story? Very, very good. Thank you for saying it in a complete sentence. So her name is Jenny. And we learned about how Jenny is a bargain hunter. She's a bargain hunter. So, Barry, can you please remind us, what is a bargain hunter?
That means she likes buying things on sale.
Very good. She likes to buy things that are on sale. And so that goes along with the question you were supposed to answer for your homework. So you had the question, are you a bargain hunter when you go shopping? And then if you don't usually shop, you could respond for your parents or your friends, your brother, sister. And you also were supposed to answer the question, do you think it's smart to buy items that are on sale? And I told you guys that I would also share what I thought. So why don't I go first this time? So my answer, yes, I am always a bargain hunter when I go shopping. I look for the big signs that say on sale or clearance. And clearance is sort of like if an item is on sale, so it's less expensive than it usually is. And I think it's really smart to look for items that are on sale because then you can save money and you might even be able to buy more things for less. So that's what I think. Those are my answers. So let's see what you guys think. Let's start with Sylvia. Sylvia, are you a bargain hunter when you go shopping?
My mom is a bargain hunter.
Very, very good. Continue. Sorry.
I think it is good, but when she buys too many things, it isn't smart.
See, that's true because when so many items are on sale, then you might buy things that you don't really need, right? Yes, very good. Great answer. I do that too sometimes. I might buy too many items because they're on sale. So thank you, Sylvia. What about you, Stella? Are you or someone you know, are you a bargain hunter?
No, I'm not a bargain hunter, but my mom is good at bargaining. I think it's smart to shop for items that are on sale because we can buy the things that I want by the cheap price.
Excellent answer. I agree with you. You can get things you need or want at a less expensive price, at a cheaper price. Great answer. What about you, Barry? Are you or your mom, dad a bargain hunter?
Hmm. I am not a bargain hunter because something won't on sale. But if you really need it, you need to buy it. But if it's on sale, I think I will happy to buy it.
I agree with that as well. If it's on sale, then then you want to buy it. Or you might buy too many things like Sylvia said. Great answer. And Ruru, what about you? Are you or your mom, your dad, a bargain hunter?
No. Wait. No, I did. I'm not.
Okay, so you're not a bargain hunter. Why not?
Because I want to save money.
Can you say that one more time a little louder? I can't hear you.
Because I want to save money.
Okay, so do you think it's smart to buy items that are on sale?
你照老师念。Xiahna, could you repeat? And she can repeat after you.
Okay. Do you think it's smart to buy items that are on sale?
Do you?
没有，这是他说这样是明智的吗？就是如果你买那个比较便宜的特价品，这样是明智的吗 ？Smart？
No.
啊？为什么？可以省钱呢？所以你是说
Because
到最后会花更多钱，是不是？
yes. Because
哦。I think she wants to say you will end up buying more things that you don't need, and then you are not saving money. You are spending more money.
Oh, okay. I see what you mean, Ruru. That's sort of like what Sylvia said, right, Sylvia? If things are on sale, you might buy a lot of things, and then really you're spending more money. So those are both really great perspectives or opinions that each of you have. So yeah, it could be smart to buy items that are on sale because you save money. But if you buy too many of those items, you might lose money. So very great answers to those questions. Thank you for sharing. So let's see how the rest of Jenny's grocery shopping goes. So we're going to finish this story today. Let's begin by going over our new vocab. So we have a lot of vocab words today. Give me 1 second. Okay. Oh, did someone raise their hand? Or was that earlier? I just saw that. I think that was earlier. Okay. Give me 1 second. Okay. So our new vocabulary words, we're going to start with checkout. And you can repeat after me. Checkout.
Check out.
Check out.
Very good. So the checkout is a place in a store where you pay for the items that you've chosen. So we can see in both of these pictures, this is the checkout, where you bring those items. Or right here, we see the checkout. So let's look at our example. After choosing the items I want to buy, I take my cart to the checkout.
After
After
choosing the
choosing
items
the
I want
items
to
I
buy, I
want
take
to
my
buy,
card to the
I
checkout.
take my car to the checkout.
checkout.
Very good. So again, we see the checkout. When you're finished shopping, it's where you take those items that you want to buy. To empty.
To empty.
To empty.
To empty something is to remove or take out everything that is inside something. So let's look at our examples. She empties the grocery bags as soon as she gets home.
She
She
empties
empties
the
the
grocery
grocery
bags
bags
as soon as she gets
gets
home.
home.
I always empty out my backpack on the last day of school.
I always
I
empty
always
out my
empty out
backpack
my
on the last day
backpack
of
on the
school.
last day of school.
Last day of
Very good. So again, when you empty something, you take out everything that is inside of it. So in our picture, in our first sentence, she empties the grocery bag. So she takes out all of the groceries from inside the bag. Or in this picture, this woman is emptying her purse or her bag. She's taking out everything that was inside of her bag. And you might do this on the last day of school. You might empty out your backpack because you don't need to use it anymore. You take out everything that's inside. An important thing to remember with empty, when you are saying he empties or she empties, for example, like in this sentence, you take out the Y and you add IES. So you'll see this looks a little different from I empty or you empty. So just keep that in mind when you say he or she empties. Again, you take out the Y and you add IES. So again, to empty, to take out everything that's inside something. Contents.
Content.
Contents.
Now, the contents of something are all of those things that are inside of it. So we see in our examples, they're very similar to our examples from the last slide, but we add the word content. So let's look at these. She empties the contents of the grocery bags as soon as she gets home.
She
She
empties the
empties
content
the
of
contents
the
of the
grocery bags
grocery
as
bags
soon
as
as she
soon
gets home.
as she gets home.
You empty out the contents of your purse.
You
You
empty out the
empty
content
out
of
the
your purse.
contents of your purse.
Very good. So now we see these same sentences, but with the word contents. So with this picture, the groceries would be the contents of this bag. They are what's inside of it. All of these things down here had been the contents of this bag. They had been inside the bag. So those are the contents. Cashier.
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 The cashier is the person who takes the money when you buy something at a store. So this is pretty simple. Let's look at our examples. My cousin works as a cashier at the local grocery store.
My
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 cousin
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 works
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 as
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 a
a
a
cashier
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 at
at
the
at
the
the
local
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 grocery
grocery
store.
grocery
store.
store.
The cashier was very friendly.
The cashier was very friendly.
very friendly.
Very good. So again, the cashier, it would be this guy in this picture. They're the ones who take the money and scan your items when you buy something. Cash register.
Cash
Cash
register.
register.
The cash register is the machine that is used for keeping the money that you give to the cashier. And the cash register also keeps a record of the items that were sold, the items that you bought. So let's look at our example. The cashier placed the money in the cash register.
The cashier
Cashier
placed the
placed
money in the cash
money in
register.
In the
cash
cash
register.
register.
Very good. So we see two types of cash registers here. So we see this cash register. So the cashier would put the money into the cash register. This one also has a computer. So that computer would have a record of the items you bought. So it would have information about the things you bought. Correctly.
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 So when something is done correctly, that means it's done in the correct or right way. So let's look at our examples. My dad taught me how to drive correctly.
My dad taught me how to
My
drive
dad
correctly.
taught me drive correctly.
I don't think I cooked the chicken correctly because it didn't taste very good.
I don't think I cooked
I
the
cooked the
chicken
chicken
correctly
The
because
correctly
chicken
it doesn't
correctly
taste
because
very
it
good.
didn't taste
tastes
very
very
good.
good.
Awesome. So again, if something's done correctly, it's done in the right way. So when you're learning how to drive, maybe your parents will teach you, and they'll teach you the correct way to drive, the right way. So they'll teach you to drive correctly. In this example, the second, and I included a little picture. Maybe you're cooking a meal and you realize you didn't cook it correctly because it doesn't taste very good. So this is a picture of chicken that was probably not cooked correctly. So it wasn't cooked in the right way. Key in.
Key in.
Key in.
So to key in is to type information into a computer. So our example says, James quickly keyed in the information.
James quickly keyed in the information.
Key in the information.
Very good. So the reason that we have this phrase key in is because in our story, the cashier keys in information into the cash register. So we don't use this phrase a lot when just talking about typing on the computer, but with the cashier using a cash register, they may have to key in or type information into the machine. So we're going to, after this slide, we'll see more words that work with this phrase, key in. But again, typing information into a computer. Barcode.
Barcode.
So we've all seen one of these, a barcode. It's a row of black lines. We see it on the things that we buy. And a barcode allows a computer to show you how much that item costs. So let's look at our example. The cashier scanned the barcode on each item.
The cashier scanned the barcode on each item.
Very good. So we learned the word scanned. If you remember, in our last story, a librarian scans your books when you want to check them out. So we know a cashier does the same thing with the things you want to buy. They scan the barcode on the items that you buy. Manually.
Manually.
If something is done manually, it's done with your hands. So let's look at our example. We have to key in the information manually.
We have to key in the information
manually.
Very good. So again, with our example of a cashier, when you go to the checkout and your cashier scans the items, sometimes the scanner might not work and the cashier will have to key in or type in the information manually with their hands on the computer. They can't use the scanner sometimes because it doesn't work. The computer does all the work for you when you scan an item. But if that doesn't work, you have to do it manually. So in this picture, this person is manually keying in the information about an item. Are there any questions about this word or any of the words we've discussed so far? Okay, so let's move on to our next word, total.
Total.
So when you buy things at a store, the total is the complete cost of everything you buy all together. So let's look at our example. After buying 3 apples, 2 oranges, and 1 gallon of milk, Justin's total was $250.
After buying 3 apples, 2 oranges, and 1 gallon of milk, Justin's total was $150.
Very good. So again, that is Justin's total. The cost of the apples plus the oranges plus the milk all together that equaled $250. And so in American currency or American money, I think that's about $10. So again, that's the total cost of everything that Justin bought. Bill.
Bill.
A bill is a piece of paper money. So in this picture, we see bills from different countries all around the world. So our example says, I handed the cashier 2 bills to pay for my items.
I handed the cashier 2 bills to pay for my items.
Very good. So again, a bill is paper money. Piece of paper money. Counterfeit.
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 Very good. So if money is counterfeit, it's the illegal copy of the real thing. Now that word illegal, can anybody tell me what illegal means? Does anybody know what that means? Okay, so if something is illegal, that means it's against the law. It's against the law. So it's wrong to do. So we know sometimes people will make copies of bills, but they're fake. They're not real. So when you go to a store to buy something and you hand the cashier a bill, a lot of times they'll hold it up, like we see in this picture, to check if it's counterfeit. They want to check if it's real or fake. So, for example, let's look at our example sentence. The cashier told me that I couldn't buy the shoes because the bill I used was counterfeit.
The cashier told me that I couldn't buy the shoes because the bill
I used was counterfeit.
Very good. So when a cashier checks to see if the bill is counterfeit or not, if they see that it's fake, it's counterfeit, you won't be able to buy the item because that is fake money. So again, counterfeit, it's an illegal copy of money against the law, fake money. To slip.
to sleep.
To sleep.
So to slip can mean different things in English. In this case, and in the story we're reading, to slip is to move or move something with a smooth sliding motion. So let's look at our examples. The cashier slips the bill into the cash register.
The cashier
The
slips
cashier
the bill
slips
into
the
the
bill
cash
into the
cash
cash
register.
register.
I slipped the piece of paper to my friend.
I slip
I
the
slip
piece
I
of
slip
piece
a
paper
of
to
piece
my
of
friend.
paper to my friend.
Very good. So again, to slip something, you move it with a smooth sliding motion. So I don't know if you can see my picture, but if I was slipping something or across my desk, so in this picture, the cashier slips the bill into the cash register. They smoothly put it into the register. Change.
Change.
Change is the money that you get back when you pay more for something than it costs. So our example says, the cashier handed me my change.
The
The
cashier
cashier
gave me my
handed
change.
me my change.
Very good. So sometimes when you pay for something, you pay the cashier a little bit more than what the items cost. So the cashier will give you back change. A lot of times, change is given back in the form of coins. So we learned about bills, paper money. These are coins. So these words work together sometimes. So again, change, it's that money that the cashier gives you back. when you paid more than what the items cost. Okay, so we went over all our words. I know that was a lot, but I know you guys will come up with great sentences using these words. So again, now's your time to use at least one of the following words or phrases and create your own sentence. And if you have any questions or if you would like me to share more examples of how you can use these words, please go ahead and unmute yourself and you can let me know. But in the meantime, I will let you guys go ahead and prepare your sentences. And like I said last week, these words are really helpful to know, again, if you ever plan on traveling to an English-speaking country, because you'll probably have to go to the store and buy some things. So these are really useful words to know that you'll be able to use in the future if you ever decide to travel. See, 2 sentences. Thank you, guys. Okay, I see. I think that's all of you. So I'll stop sharing so we can all see each other better and we can hear your guys' sentences. So why don't we start with Ruru? Can you please share your sentence with us?
How much does the cake and the juice cost in total?
Very good. Your sentence makes me hungry. Now I want cake. That's a great sentence. So you used the word total. I also really like how you did it in the form of a question. So very good sentence. That's perfect. Perfect sentence.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, let's move on to Stella. Stella, can you share your sentence, please?
I give the water bill to the cashier in the convenience store.
Very good, Stella. So I see the word bill and I see cashier. Great job. So I'm not sure what you mean by the water bill, but it may just be different where I live.
Let me help her. So
Okay.
the convenience stores can do so many things. It's so convenient because you can pay bills there. They will scan your barcode and then they will take the money. So you don't have to go to your water company or power company to pay bills.
Wow, that's awesome. So thank you. I learned something new today, Stella, because of you. Thank you. And you also use the word bill in a different meaning than what we learned today. So a bill could also be something you receive where you have to, pay for it. You have to pay your bill, not always money, paper money. So very good. Thank you. And I learned something new. So that's really great. Thank you, Stella. Okay, Sylvia, can you please share your sentence?
The cashier slips a counterfeit from the cash register to me.
Very good. So I see cashier, slips, counterfeit, and cash register. 4 words. Great. So maybe if you paid with the counterfeit, the cashier might slip it back to you, right? Because can you pay with the counterfeit bill, Sylvia?
No,
No, you can't. So very good. Okay, let's finish with Barry. Barry, please share your sentence.
The barcode is wrong, so the cashier key in the barcode manually and correctly.
Very good, Barry. Thank you. I see barcode, cashier, key in, manually and correctly. Thank you for using so many words. And this sentence is very similar to what the cashier will do in the rest of our story. So great work. And thank you, all of you, for your hard work. Awesome sentences. So now let's see these words in action in paragraph 2 of our story. So if you guys all could pull this up on your device, our passage, and we're going to do something a little different today to refresh our memory. I'm going to ask one of you to read our first paragraph, the one that we read last week. And then we will do what we usually do, where I read the second one and then you repeat after me. So I will ask you guys who would like to read the first paragraph. Who wants to read the first paragraph? Anyone?
Sylvia.
Sylvia, thank you. You're a good reader. So why don't you read the title and just the first paragraph for us? Can you do that?
yes.
Okay.
Grocery shopping. On her way home from school, Jenny decided she needed to stop at the local grocery store. As she entered, she looked around and found a shopping basket. She placed the basket on a cart to make a mini shopping cart. It was easier for her to push the cart rather than carry the basket. The aisles were organized neatly, and Jenny pushed the cart down each one to find what she needed. Each item she wanted, she took off the shelf and placed in the shopping cart. Jenny, being a bargain hunter, preferred the items that were on sale. Her, her,
Thriftiness?
her thriftiness allows her to save a lot of money whenever she shops.
Very good. Great job reading. So now that we remember a little bit from last week, I'm going to read the second paragraph. And then again, I will read it and you will all repeat after me. So let's see what happens next in paragraph 2. After filling the basket, she lined up at the checkout. When it was her turn, She emptied the contents of the basket onto the counter. The cashier scanned each item. A couple items wouldn't scan correctly, so the cashier had to key in the barcode manually. When the cashier had finished scanning everything, she hit the total button. Jenny handed her a $500 bill. The cashier checked the bill to make sure it wasn't counterfeit and then slipped it into the cash register. She then counted out the change and handed it back to Jenny. Jenny thanked her, took her bag of groceries, and headed for home. So let's go again, and this time, please repeat after me. After filling the basket, she lined up at the checkout.
After filling the basket, she lined up at the checkout.
When it was her turn, she emptied the contents of the basket onto the counter.
When it was her turn,
turn,
she emptied the contents of the basket onto the counter.
The cashier scanned each item.
The cashier scanned each item.
A couple items wouldn't scan correctly, so the cashier had to key in the barcode manually.
A cup item was scanned correctly, so the cashier had to key in the barcode.
When the cashier had finished scanning everything, she hit the total button.
When the cashier had finished scanning everything, she hit the total button.
Jenny handed her a $500 bill.
Jenny handed her a $500
bill.
The cashier checked the bill to make sure it wasn't counterfeit and then slipped it into the cash register.
The cashier checked the bill to make sure it was counterfeit and then slipped it into the cash register.
She then counted out the change and handed it back to Jenny.
She then counted out the change and handed it back to Jenny.
Jenny thanked her, took her bag of groceries, and headed for home.
Jenny thanked her, took her bag of groceries, and headed for home.
Very good. I know that was a long paragraph. Great reading, everybody. So now let's talk about this second paragraph. So when she was done shopping, Jenny had filled up her basket. Where did she go after she filled up her basket? Ruru, can you answer that? Where did Jenny go after she filled up her basket?
Ruru, do you understand the question?
I don't know.
Yeah, she doesn't understand the question, so could you repeat your question?
Okay, that's okay, Ruru. So if we look at the first sentence in the paragraph, the first sentence that we read, after filling the basket, where did Jenny go? Very good. She lined up at the checkout. So what is the checkout? Barry, can you remind us what is the checkout?
The checkout is a place you can, if you want to buy things, you can put things in there and the cashier will scan the item and you pay the fee and you can get a thing.
Very good. So, Ruru, the checkout, it's where you go to buy the items that you put in your basket. So you got the answer right. After she filled up her basket, she lined up at the checkout so that she could buy her items. Very good. So the cashier scanned the items, but not all of them scanned correctly. So Stella, what did the cashier do?
The cashier had to key in the barcode manually.
Very good, manually. So the scanner wouldn't work, so she had to do it manually. She had to type in or key in the information. And Sylvia, when Jenny handed the cashier a bill, why did the cashier check the bill?
She wanted to make sure it wasn't a counterfeit.
Very good. So the cashier had to make sure it wasn't counterfeit. And again, Stella, what does counterfeit mean? What is counterfeit?
It's not real.
Very good. So a counterfeit bill is a counterfeit bill is not real. It's fake. It's just a copy of real money. So very good, Sylvia and Stella. So she has to check it to make sure it's real. So very good job with this story. We learned a lot about Jenny and how she goes grocery shopping. So let's look at our practice worksheet. Practice worksheet number 2. So I put that in the chat earlier. So if you guys could all pull that up on your device, practice worksheet number 2, and we'll start with our picture matching it with the correct word. So once we get there, Barry, can you start with number 1?
Number 1 is to empty.
Very good, to empty. So we see she's emptying out the contents of her purse. Very good. Number 2, Ruru. What is number 2?
Cashier.
Very good, cashier. So the cashier is the person who scans the items for you and you give them the money to pay for your items. Very good. Number 3, Sylvia. What is number 3?
Cash register.
Very good, cash register. So we see that's where the cashier places the money. Number 4, Stella.
Correctly.
Correctly. So we see a little check mark to show something is done in the correct or right way. Number 5, Barry.
Barcode.
Barcode. Very good. So again, the cashier scans the barcode of the items. And last one, number 6. Ruru, can you do number 6 for us?
Counterfeit.
Very good. Counterfeit. Very good. So we see the cashier's holding up the two bills to see if it's counterfeit. So great work with this part of the worksheet. For the second part, if you go to page 2, we have 6 sentences. 6 sentences. And your job is to put them in the correct order. So the first one and the last one are done for you. So Ruru, can you please read number 1, that first sentence?
On her way home from school, Jenny
Decided.
decided she needed to stop at the grocery
Grocery store.
store.
Very good. So we know that's what happened first. So that is our number 1. Now, when you guys look at these sentences, and I'll give you a little bit of time to look at these, we want to find out what happened next. What would be number 2? So, Barry, you can take a little bit of time to look at the sentences, but when you find number 2, go ahead and unmute and share it with us.
Jenny pushed her cart down each aisle to find what she needed. She preferred the items that were on sale.
Very good. So that would be number 2. Now, Stella, what happened next? What would be number 3?
After filling the basket, she lined up the checkout. Jenny implanted the contents of the basket into the counter.
Very good. So that is number 3. So after filling the basket, she goes to the checkout. She empties all the contents onto the counter. What happens after that? Number 4. Sylvia, what do you think is number 4?
The cashier scanned each item. For some items, the cashier had to key in the barcode manually.
Very good. So that's number 4. So the cashier scans the items. What happens after that? Ruru, do you know what number 5 is? What happens next? And it's okay, take your time if you need a little bit of time.
Unmute， 打开麦克风。
要念吗？3. Jenny put her card down each aisle to find what she needs. She preferred the aisles what were on sale.
So good reading, Ruru. That's not the correct answer. So let's look at the screen here. So Barry and Sylvia and Stella, they already helped us out a bit. So we can see the sentences. that have been numbered. So this is number 1, number 2, 3, and 4. So what do you think comes next? What would be number 5?
Big bear car.
So in our story, Jenny goes to the store, right? She goes grocery shopping. So these sentences have to be put in the right order, like in the story. They're all mixed up. So we know what happened first and what happens last. There's one sentence that hasn't been taken yet. So this happened after the cashier scanned the item. What happened? Can you read this right here, Ruru?
Jenny hands the cashier a $500 bill. The cashier checked it to take sure it wasn't counterfeit.
Very good. So we would put next to this sentence number 5. Number 5. And then number 6, the last sentence, is done for us. Barry, could you please read number 6?
The cashier had Jenny to the change. Jenny thanks the cashier, took her bag of groceries, and headed for home.
Very good. Thank you, Barry. And thank all of you. I know it can be a little confusing or hard to understand when the sentences are not in the right order, but you guys did a very good job. So we see number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6. So for your homework, practice 2 says, or this would be practice 3, using the vocabulary words you have learned, describe how you go grocery shopping. Use at least 4 complete sentences. So maybe you go grocery shopping the same way Jenny does, or maybe you do things a little differently. So that's your homework, to write down how you go grocery shopping. And try to use at least 4 sentences. So that may be a little hard, but just do your best. So are there any questions about the homework, what you're supposed to do?
OK 所以写4句哈，4句，你怎么样去采购你的杂货的？So one question for you, Xiahna. How often do you go grocery shopping?
How often do... That is a very good question. So in the past year, during the pandemic, I haven't gone grocery shopping. I get my groceries ordered to my house. Yeah, delivered. Yes.
I see. Wow.
Yeah.
So after getting vaccinated, you will be able to go grocery shopping again?
Yes.
Good to know that. Good to know that.
Great question.
Okay. All right, time's up. So everybody, please unmute your microphone and say thank you, teacher Xiahna. Okay, let's do that. Thank you,
teacher
Xiahna. We will see you next week.
Yes, see you all next week.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.